everyone, and welcome back to the Homesteadkntting podcast, episode 5. My name is Danielle. I'm the maker and designer behind Homesteadkntting. You can find me on Instagram, Ravelry, and Rippler under that username. I will have them linked down below if you're interested. So it's been about 2 weeks since my last podcast, and as you can tell, I'm not in the same location that I would usually podcast in. So there's been a lot going on in the last 2 weeks for me in my life. One of the things obviously is I have a Christmas tree up behind me, so my boyfriend and I actually went out and picked our Christmas tree and we cut it down and we brought it home, so it's now here for the season. Hopefully it'll last through January. So because of our Christmas tree, we did have to rearrange slightly in the house, so it's a lot harder for me to sit in front of my yarn cabinet. I hope nobody minds that I am sitting in front of my Christmas tree. I'm hoping to not have too many podcasts sitting in front of it, like maybe 1 or 2 more. I'm not sure. I don't even know how long my Christmas tree is going to last because it is a real tree this year versus a fake one. So yeah, I had a great last 2 weeks. I've done some baking. I made pumpkin cinnamon rolls, which are absolutely delicious. I've cleaned my chicken coop and got that all clean for my chickens, and they were super happy. Been able to keep the house nice and clean. My boyfriend took me out ice fishing and we had a really nice day of it. Obviously we put up our Christmas tree and the house smells really nice because it is a real tree this year. I have got a little bit of advent knitting done, and then I did cast on a new project because, as you can see behind me, somebody had to put a gift under the tree, so I figured it would be appropriate for me to make something and wrap it up under the tree for my boyfriend. So yeah, I have one almost finished object for today, and then I have quite a bit. I'd say I'd have a decent amount of progress to show on all of my other projects. So yeah, let's get into it. Okay, so my first almost finished object is the dog sweater for my dog. The only thing I have left to do on it is attach some buttons and then make like the little button band part so the buttons have somewhere to button into, if that makes sense. So for this project, I am using a 3.5mm crochet hook, and I am using Knit Picks palette in the colorway Douglas Fir, and it's 100% Peruvian Highlands wool. And I did try it on my dog and it fits quite good. The only part where it doesn't fit as good as it could maybe is in the chest. However, he doesn't have like a perfectly symmetrical chest because he's very large around the ribs, so it's very hard to fit him into just standard dog clothes as it is. Like he has a coat and he has a life jacket, but for both of them we always like tend to buy a bigger size than what they would suggest for how much he weighs because of how large he is in the chest. So yeah, it actually fits really great. My boyfriend and I got him into it. He was very happy and he was really mad when we took it off him. For this pattern, it's just something that I made up. It is just double crochet in the back loop only. I just have it folded in half here, so just get it lined up. So this would go across his chest right here, and then there's the 2 armholes because it is folded in back. And here's the back pieces, and then I do have it longer to go around his back and his hips. And then on the one side here, I will be making a button band for the dog. I do have to get some buttons. I'm thinking I want plain black buttons. I've looked, I don't have any that are the right size or the right color or the right style to go with this coat. So I'm hoping they have something in town so I can finish this off within the next week or so. And then last time I sat down to podcast, I was right here, so obviously I finished this whole side here. I'm very, very excited to be done with it. And out of all 3 balls of Knit Picks palette I bought, this is how much yarn I have left, so I will have just enough yarn to do the button band, and then I'll see how much yarn I have left after that. Maybe I'll be able to do a little bit of detailing around the armholes, but we'll see. And of course I have to weave in my ends. I haven't done that yet either. Alright, so that's project number 1. My second project are the socks I'm making for my dad. This is my vanilla socks with a gusset heel or vanilla socks with a strong heel. This pattern will hopefully be releasing in January. I did just start knitting the gusset here, so that's why I have my 2 yellow stitch markers on the back here. I think I will be refilming the gusset part of the tutorial though, just because it's very hard to see this yarn, especially where it starts changing colors and it goes to that dark color. So a little bit about this pattern. I've cast on 64 stitches. I'm knitting at magic loop, obviously, 3mm needles. For the cuff, I've knit 2x2 rib. And I've used Knit Picks Stroll in the colorway Navy. And then the main color of my sock is Red Heart, Heart and Soul in the colorway Skyscraper. I knit 20 rounds for the cuff, and then I've knit 40 rounds for the leg, and then I will be doing my gusset and then the heel turn. Also, if you are interested in helping me just proofread the pattern and potentially test knitting this sock pattern, I will have it available in 4 sizes. I think I did 60 stitches, 64, 72, and maybe one other size after 72. Of course, you can always make a custom size. I can give you instructions on how to easily make a custom size to fit any size foot you need. This will be released as a free pattern. I'm hoping in January to have it out. However, I think I do want to get it proofread by some other people who knit, especially if you've knit socks before. That'd be really helpful. I think I'm going to put a test call out for this soon, because I think it's better to get it done sooner if I want it released for January. I know it's also a really busy time of year for people, so I'm not sure if anybody's actually going to be able to help me out, but we'll see. So yeah, if you're interested in that, feel free to hit me up. I would love some help, and it will be released as a free pattern, so if you don't have time now, you can always pick up the pattern later. So yeah, moving on. The next project I've been working on, I was able to pick up my boyfriend's sweater a little bit. This is a pattern all of my own. I just based it on measurements from my boyfriend. I'm using a 4.5mm crochet hook, and the yarn for this is from Ice Yarns. I've used Ice Yarns Favorite Wool in red and black, and then the main portion of my sweater is Ice Yarns Zerda Alpaca. So I'm just working on the sleeves here. I'm on Sleeve Island. I think I've added about 4 rows to each sleeve. You can actually see it's starting to come away from the body, so it's actually really exciting for me. I'm crocheting them at the same time, so I'm not doing, one sleeve and then the other. So I just have some neck shaping here going on. I have the shoulder shaping. And then if you haven't seen this before, I crocheted the chevron into the body, and it does have the pocket on the front here. And then it just has some ribbing down at the bottom, and then for the sleeves I will be doing them all in gray, and then closer down to the cuff I'm going to be including the chevron again, and then I will be doing the ribbing again at the edge of the sleeves. And it will be getting a hood as well with the drawstring. So yeah, there's some progress being made on this guy. Again, this is my own pattern. I started this well over a year ago, and there wasn't any sweater patterns made at that time that I could find, knit or crocheted, that would remotely work for what I wanted, unless I heavily modified it. And I just said no, like I'm just gonna design it for myself. So I started at the bottom with the ribbing, and then I figured out the math for the chevron, and then I went up into the body, did the shaping for the shoulders and the neck shaping. I seamed the shoulders, and then I've picked up stitches and just continually crocheting for the armholes. So yeah, hoping by next year sometime to actually have this project finished, because that would be very nice. This is probably one of the biggest and longest projects I've ever done. And I really want it to get done, so I'm hoping probably later today I'm going to sit down and just crochet on that and just kind of enjoy myself. I haven't been crocheting nearly as much as I want to right now. I've just been doing a lot more knitting because I have other things that I really need to get done. One of them being is I decided to cast on a hat for my boyfriend just as like a last minute gift. So what I did was I actually frogged a scarf that I had knit well over a year ago and I just didn't end up wearing. I didn't wear it because it was a little bit shorter, and I just have a lot of other knit items already for myself. The yarn is Lion Brand Ferris Wheel. I don't remember the color name though. I might have to look it up. Maybe I have it written down somewhere, I'm not sure. It does change colors, and I decided to cast on the hat. It is not the 1948 hat. I'll have it linked down below. It's based off that hat pattern though. So basically you'll knit the band for like around the ears and that, and then you will pick up stitches along the top here, and then you will knit the crown for the hat. Zumo Crafts on Instagram had knit one and it was really beautiful, and she said that it was a really quick knit. I'm using a light worsted weight yarn and some 5mm needles, so it's going really quick. I wasn't originally going to cast this on, however I don't have enough fingering weight scraps to make a lighter version of the hat. I was wanting to make a DK version using fingering weight held double, but I don't have enough, so I will eventually make one. But yeah, it's looking pretty good so far. So I need to have this hat done before Christmas, hopefully get it wrapped up and shove it under the tree and see if my boyfriend notices. So yeah, again, Lion Brand Ferris Wheel. I don't remember the color name. Hopefully in the next week or so I will have this cast off and under the tree. And then for my Advent knitting, I haven't shown this off on Instagram or anything. This is the Stephen West Slip Stitch Extravaganza. So I originally started this blanket with the suggested needle size, and it was really small, and then I did a gauge swatch and I realized my gauge was really off, so I ended up going up to a 5.5mm needle. For this blanket I am using Knit Picks Wool of the Andes in sport weight yarn, and the main color here is Oyster Heather. Then there's Pumpkin and Hollyberry is what I've added in for the red. And I've just knit section 1 of the honeycombs, and I'm working on section 2 of the honeycombs. I haven't been picking it up nearly as much as I would like to, because obviously the hat for my boyfriend, then the socks for my dad are kind of taking over, but that's okay. I know for sure I will get back to this one eventually, so I'm really excited to eventually get back to this one. The rows are actually getting pretty long too because I am using larger needles. There's just a lot of stitches, and for whatever reason, whenever I try to take a picture of this, the picture just does not look good at all. So I'm hoping that I can get slightly farther into the pattern so I can show it off, because I think it's a really lovely pattern and I think it's going to look super good once I get a little bit farther and you can kind of see the details a little bit better. And then if you want to see the wrong side, it actually looks pretty good on the wrong side. Not too worried about it. I don't really have any loose floats or anything. So yeah, that's what I got going on. So yeah, nothing too exciting today. Definitely a shorter video than it usually would be. Hopefully in the next week or so I will be able to find some time to sit down and podcast and just kind of show off what I'm working on. So yeah, I think that's all I have for today. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and feel free to leave me a comment if you enjoyed anything that you saw in the video. Thanks for watching.